Welcome to another episode of Comedy Wham Presents. With me, your host, Valerie, and sometime kitty co-hosts Miss Purrington and Mookie are back at home. We're recording from the Fallout Theater podcast studio. Thank you, Fallout. ComedyWham.com is your place to go for features about all Austin comedy. In addition to podcasts, Comedy Wham brings you articles, album reviews, show reviews, our advice column, our listing of festivals from across the country and the world, our FPIA contest page, and my articles for the Austin Chronicle and thebarbedwire.com about the Austin and Texas comedy scene. Our most popular feature is our events page for live comedy shows in Austin, Houston, and DFW, where 100% of the entries you see come from comics and producers. Click the Submit a Show button from the top of the homepage or events page to fill out the survey to get your show listed. It's free and easy. Tag us on your Instagram stories and we'll share your show promo to our followers. We also offer paid promo pushes on Instagram. Do you have a show that you would like Comedy Wham to review? Then give us a shout and we'll see if we can get myself or Sam Pierce out to your show to write up a review. Speaking of events, come check out my passion project show, Improv Vintage, which is improv inspired by your vintage treasures. And we've got a whole list of shows on our Instagram account at Improv Vintage. Want to support these resources that we provide? You can donate to Comedy Wham on PayPal, Venmo, or even Patreon. Click the Support CW icon on our homepage to see the ways that you can help us. Our podcast was launched in 2016 to bring you funny people and their stories. As a fan, I like to delve into a comic's background and motivations, and will usually take a detour along the way. Consider the interview a way for you to get to know the folks that make the Austin comedy scene one of the best in the country. If you like this podcast, please rate and review us. Today, we are talking to somebody who performs stand-up around town and was the host of the dearly departed The Talent Show at ColdTony Theater. She performs improv, and she's currently a player in Garage Improv at Fallout on Thursday nights. She's also a sketch performer, including for Big Fart, which has been featured in ATX Sketchfest and nominated for Austin Chronicle's Best of Austin. When she's not performing, you might take an improv class from her at ColdTony as well. And now Comedy Wham presents our guest, Irielle Wesley.
Woo!
Woo! Welcome.
Nice.
How are you?
I'm good. I felt a little frazzled. I feel like I'm always a little frazzled getting somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm always just kind of like, you know.
Well, you're here.
I made it. Yeah.
I was amused by the fact that you just walked right past me. And I'm like, okay, so she doesn't know who I am. That's fine.
I'm sorry. I was like, I guess I didn't know your face ahead of time. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't make a big deal about it. It's like, it's Comedy Wham.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, hey, it's Valerie. I
Yeah.
don't put my face there.
I know you as Valerie, but the face, and I guess, you know, I'm such a frazzled person internally where I was like, I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna walk in, you know.
Yeah. With confidence, I might add. I'm like, okay.
I'm glad the confidence, I'm glad it looks like confidence and not like I'm socially anxious. And I'm just gonna.
No, it was like mission focused. I'm getting there. And I didn't want to scare you walking behind you. Because, you know, for anybody that doesn't know, in the Fallout Theater, the podcast studio is like the last room you can get to, and you have to cross sometimes dark rooms or other rehearsals happening. But you know.
I went straight for it. I appreciate you just like, I feel like I would have taken that moment to just like walk up behind me and be like, oh, hey.
Right. And I did not want to scare you. It's not a good way to start the interaction.
Yeah, that's fair. So.
All right. Irielle, I have my opening question. Okay. I ask everybody this. Mm-hmm. So you're getting asked. Give me one word to describe your past.
My past? One word. I would say I guess, you know, mixed.
Okay.
Yeah. And this
Do you want to talk about that?
Are we talking about past as a person or just, yeah?
It's very open-ended.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's always been like a tension I felt like internally about myself as a person, and then like wanting to be a comedian and performer and all that. It's kind of silly to say, but I'm like, I'm not really like I don't consider myself like an extroverted person. Definitely feel more introverted, but have just like learned skills of how to connect with people over the years.
Yeah.
As a kid, I was like very quiet and shy, and like I didn't talk, and that was a lot from growing up where I did, and like being in school and just like having kind of like just living more in my head more than anything, and like kind of being scared of the world all the time. While that like also exists, I also have always loved like comedy and movies and film and like performance.
Yeah.
And it's like I want to do that, but also I am this person as well. So it's like a mix up of
Sure. Yeah, it's I consider myself an introvert who plays a good game sometimes of looking and acting like an extrovert.
Yeah.
But I'm very much an introvert.
Yeah, I kind of just I really just do feel like I just learned skills on how to connect with people.
Yeah.
Not so much as me feeling like I had those tools or even really like wanted that, or just like wanted to be so public facing, you kind of can't not be public facing when you're trying to do comedy and performance. So
right, and not only that, perform in the 3 tripods of performance. You are a stand-up, you are a sketch performer, you are an improviser. So you're all into performance.
Yeah. And yet, I'm just like, you saw how I rushed past you with my head just, not trying to disturb or like interact.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the identity.
Yeah, that's the idea. There are 2 wolves inside me. That's what they say.
Where did you grow up?
Wichita Falls, Texas.
Okay. That's North Texas.
It
right?
is.
Yeah,
It is very close to Oklahoma.
Okay.
Right. The state line.
Yeah. I was raised mostly in Burleson, so that's south of Fort Worth.
Oh, okay.
So also North Texas. Nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
But at least I'm familiar with Wichita Falls.
The area and the vibe.
Yeah.
That North Texas vibe.
Yes.
It's flat.
Which is, exactly. Flat and very white.
Yeah, and like barren kind of in some ways.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like a lot of my childhood I would just like walk around outside and be like, this is it. It just, not that there's not anything going on, and I guess, when you're not an adult, so you don't really know what's going on, but it's kind of like, I guess I just exist here, and I just walk around, go to school, do my after school activities, and then go home. It doesn't feel much like a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you said you enjoyed comedy, film growing up, when did the idea of becoming a performer start happening for you?
I guess more of it actually literally started happening in college, but I always wanted to, like as a kid, I was like, I always wanted, it's like I was obsessed with all that. So I was like, oh, I want to do that. Like whatever they have to do that, I want to do that. So the kernel, it was there. It's just, there was no outlet. And so, I definitely held on to this idea of like, I know I always want to do this thing, but I don't necessarily know how to, or like have an outlet to do that. And then when I went to UT, and I was in school, and like a friend was on a long form improv troupe that had started like maybe 2 years ago. So it's like still newer, and we have a shared friend that she was like, hey, they're like doing auditions for her improv troupe she's on. Do you want to come and just like as a joke kind of thing? And I was like, yeah, I'll come. That sounds so silly. And, everything's ironic when you're in college.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, yeah, let's ironically do this thing that went deep down inside you. I want this.
This is like your thing. This is your end.
This is what I didn't know. That's how people do it. But it had to have that ironic distance in order to get there, which is, that's a different kind of whole different topic with comedy where we can maybe talk about, but like just like where you feel like you're like, oh yeah, I'm
too cool.
Yeah, I'm too cool to do
That's
the thing.
The stand-up vibe. It's like, I'm too cool for that.
Yeah, like, people like being around people that are like them. So I did the audition. I didn't know what improv was, really.
Okay, I was gonna say, so what skills did you walk in with knowing about improv?
None. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know there was like a difference. I didn't know. I mostly just watched like a lot of sketch comedy.
Yeah.
There's
not a lot of improv on TV unless you know that Whose Line Is It Anyway is. And
I wasn't
improv.
even watching that. I would just watch 30 Rock, in living color. Like I would just watch a lot of sketch stuff. Yeah. I didn't know improv rules. I didn't know any of the stuff. I was aware of there's another more long-standing UT improv troupe that's like kind of, they have like, I guess a bit of more recognition, but Giggle Pants, because they've been
I've heard of Giggle Pants.
Yeah, they've been doing it a long time. That troupe's is like well established at UT and stuff. So I was like, that's, I guess, short form, but this is something else. I didn't I didn't know. I was like, I guess this is different or something different than that. So I didn't know anything. I just got up there with do scenes with each other. And I mean, I do understand doing a bit. That part I understood.
Sure.
But I didn't understand the mechanics of why bits or like how a bit works. So it's like I'm doing the thing, but I just didn't know that there's a kind of a bit of a formula to it, or there's a name for these things that we're doing. So auditioned and just like was like, okay, we're just doing bits together with these people, and had fun doing that. And then I guess maybe like kind of shortly after like a day or two, they invited people back that they wanted to be on the team, and I was one of them. I was like, whoa. Me and my friend got on, and I was like, wow, okay, that's awesome. I can't believe that. I was just really excited.
Yeah.
I did it right or something.
Did you find yourself like studying, or did you just kind of study as you're performing and playing and rehearsing with this group?
So it was like the beginning of like from the time of auditioning, getting on the troupe, and then the cool thing about the troupe is they're like more senior members who have taken improv courses and are knowledgeable, or like did improv in high school and all that, and they would teach us. They would run the rehearsals essentially. So that's where I started learning actual,
concepts,
exercises and stuff like that. And I was like, "Whoa, this is cool too." But then I think that's when part of my brain switched, where it's like, now this is hard for me because I'm thinking about the mechanics of it and kind of not being so present anymore. And I think that's just kind of what happens when you start to learn about something.
Sure.
That you were doing. You're like, oh, there's something to think about like the standard. And it feels kind of like you have to fight. Or in my head, it feels like I know this is how it works, but like I need to remember to get more to the place of me just being expressive and, following my intuition more.
Did you eventually find that balance, or do you still find that a struggle to this day?
It's like not a constant struggle, but there are like periods of time where I'll feel like I'm in a rut, performance-wise, because I'm like thinking too much. And I think that just happens, when you just perform for, regularly, and it can't always be like on. And then once you feel like you're like, oh, I've been feeling off, so now I'm thinking more about the mechanics of why maybe something is not working, and then kind of it's like a feedback loop of like, okay, now I'm thinking more about why I feel off as opposed to just trying to get back to a place where I feel present and following my intuition again. Yeah.
So given that initial, push-pull that you had, did you at some point take a formal class?
Not improv, no.
So you're still...
They're just letting me do improv still.
And teach improv.
And teach, well, yeah, and I didn't do the improv classes. I did take sketch at ColdTown, and that's where I got onto an improv team. Everything I do is just kind of like, it feels like a little bit like whimsical and like right place, right time, because I got on Sugar Water Purple because I was interning at ColdTown, and on the nights that Sugar Water Purple happened to be performing. And then the other context is I lived in North Loop, and at that time, I would go to Flight Path all the time to get coffee, and there were two, Ryan Darbon, who asked me to like just play with Sugar Water Purple one day, worked at Flight Path at the time.
Okay.
And so just from like knowing Ryan from...
I get it.
Well, it's like I wasn't even trying to know these people. I was just like, oh, that's the coffee shop guy. like that's Flight Path guy. And I'm like, oh, hilarious. You do that. And I'm like, yeah, I take sketch here. So then just having that, those interactions over time. And then one day, it was like a Wednesday, and they were like low on people, and he was just like, do you want to play? And I was like, sure. So it's kind of, again, it's like I tend to get into these things that I secretly want by just kind of orbiting around it, and then being like, oh yeah, totally, I'll do that. Yeah. So it is interesting how that works out.
You're like the cool kid, and everyone wants you to be in their orbit, and you're just like, okay.
I don't even think I'm cool. I'm just like...
Oh, everybody knows that you are cool.
Oh, but I appreciate that, and I'll take it. But I just really am like, I feel more like I'm an observer, and I just... But like, I show interest because I'm like interested in people. I'm maybe not so much like extrovert in a way where someone who'd be more extroverted would be like, yeah, I'll come up to you and be like, hey, I want to do this thing that I see you do.
Yeah.
I'm more like oh, wow, I really enjoy this, and I like being around it, so I can get into it, but I wouldn't necessarily invite myself into it.
Sure.
Sure. It's like whenever someone invites me in, then I'm really in. And I think that's kind of how I approach things.
Okay. So how long were you in, it's Sugar Water
Purple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan is a long ago alum of doing this podcast, when he was just, not even filmmaker level.
Ryan.
He was in that troupe, and how long were you in that? show, that cast?
That cast at ColdTown. I mean, up until the pandemic, really, we were still doing that Wednesday night slot, and then the pandemic happened, and that obviously changed everything.
Yeah.
Technically, we are still a troupe. We just haven't performed in a long time.
Indefinite hiatus.
We did perform. The last time we performed was like maybe 2 years ago we did a Damn Gina had like a reunion and Maggie was in town and Sine. And so that was, I think, a year or a year and a half ago where Damn Gina and Sugar Water Purple got back to, because of Damn Gina being able to be together. We did a show at ColdTown and it was awesome. So, and that had to be like maybe 2 years ago or a year and a half.
Yeah, that sounds vaguely right. I remember because Maggie obviously doesn't come back to Austin very often. And the last time before that, she had come to do a stand-up like mini tour. And I got to see that, but I was out of town when she came back for that. And so I was kind of bummed.
Yeah.
So,
like, the stars all aligned and we were like, oh, we definitely gotta get the gang back together for this one kind of feeling.
Yeah, because that was, I never saw the either Dame Gina or Sugar Water Purple. I think it's so hard to get that right because I keep wanting to launch into the Red Hot Chili Peppers and I
Red Hot Chili Peppers, Sugar Water Purple.
Yeah. So it's nice, especially in the post-pandemic bro comedy universe that we live in, to know that there is a troupe that is, like Garage is all female, non-binary. It would be nice if there was a consistent all-black improv troupe where people could just play with each other and others could see, oh, look, there's a space for talented black improvisers to play together consistently. Yeah. And it's not all a bro comedy scene.
Yeah. So. It was or is a special group of people that I'm like, wow. I just sometimes I'm like, I can't believe I got to be a part of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if you attended the Lysistrata Comedy Festival when the 2 years it was here. I know there was one night, and I missed that night, when Rochelle and a lot of her improv friends from New Orleans, they all came here, and she was just so ecstatic because it was all female, all black improvisers doing a show together. And she just was so giddy with excitement that she had that opportunity and experience because it doesn't get to happen.
It doesn't. Yeah. And when it happens, it's rare. And it's like that's also kind of the sad part where why does it have to be so rare, or, be such an event when it feels like we should. I wish there were ways to make it more, part of the billing in town or with improv
and I think there's a little bit of a space for that because I see, is it Mysterios? Where it's all Hispanic, whatever. I mean, my last name's Lopez, but I don't even know what to call our people. All Latin American, and I think it's even in Spanish. This is how uninformed I am. I just play nice. So it comes from a good place, but I am misinformed a lot of time. So, I don't know. Maybe this is my, come on,
guys. Oh, you're like, hey, Irielle, do it. No, if I walk upon a group of black improvisers and they're like, hey, join us, then
Oh, that's right, that's what it's gonna take. Oh, I forgot I forgot the ground rules.
That's my established way of getting into stuff.
Okay.
But it's good. There's a fair point where it's like, I think the longer I've done comedy, I'm starting to realize like, oh, and I'll have ideas like, oh, this would be really cool if this was a thing, or this would be really fun to see. And it's like, oh, you have to do that.
Yeah.
You can't rely that other people are thinking what you're thinking.
Yeah.
You have to make it happen yourself.
Yeah.
So,
let's go back to talking a little bit more specifically about your experiences. Mm-hmm. So you got into improv first, mm-hmm. and then how did you get into sketch, and then how did you get into stand-up? Did you also get invited to do
to just do sketch? Yeah. No, I wish I paid money for sketch classes.
Okay.
I took only the first class, and that was enough. I think everything else just kind of fell into place. Well, because I was kind of doing all three in conjunction, like at that time. I got into improv, and then people on Snafu, that's the college improv team name. There are some people who were already doing stand-up, so I would at a good friend Sahana. She was like, they're like they were doing stand-up at the time, mm-hmm. and making waves.
Yes, she was. Yeah, Sahana for sure. And now she's TV star.
Yeah, and at that time I was like, oh, it's just like makes it comfortable. You're like, oh, my friend does stand-up, or a couple of us are trying to do open mics together. We should do it together, kind of thing. So just having that familiarity of like, okay, my friend's here, mm-hmm. I'm not scared, or and also just being like, if just knowing you're like, okay, this makes it mm-hmm. a little less frightening. A friend is here, so I started kind of trying open mics that I knew like a friend would host or be at, mm-hmm. and started just kind of doing a few open mics like once or twice a week, and at that time I was also just like taking a sketch class. That was kind of after college, though. So the stand-up started a bit in college, like between 2016, 2017, 2018. And then 2018 I started a sketch class. And so by, I guess, 2018 or so, 2019, I was a little more familiar with doing like stand-up, mm-hmm. and then I think a lot of the confidence I was gaining from improv, I would put it into stand-up, like just like kind of having that confidence, like you can do this, how comedy works, I guess. And I just kept like doing those three things, and at a certain point I was kind of more focused on stand-up, and I'm trying to remember around what time that was. I think it was around 2018 I started really trying.
So that became your favorite for
I wouldn't say it was my favorite. It's never been my favorite. I see stand-up as a means to an end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's kind of, I guess, I wouldn't say necessary, but it was the way that I saw or understood other, performers that I liked, or, growing up that I liked, and was like, oh, I would want a career like that. Okay. And a lot of us like, oh, they did stand up for a while. That seems the way to get in, mm-hmm. Get your foot in the door somewhere and start being a writer. Because I want to be a writer more than anything. I want to be like a head writer on something one day. Yeah. So it's kind of like, well, this is what they did. They did do stand up to get booked on shows, and then someone saw them mm-hmm. do stand up and then asked them to write some stuff. Yeah. So that's how I view stand up.
Okay. So you buy into the notion that by doing all three, you get better at any one?
No. I just feel like I do stand up because I feel like it feels
like the path,
like a clear path, like almost like
but sketch and improv are your fun.
Those are like these feel fun, and like this is something I really want to do. Like this is where I actually feel like I'm having a good time. It does not feel too difficult to do sketch or improv because it's a lot. I can bring more of myself, like without having to think about the audience or like my jokes and really like fine tuning something, and you can just be a lot more present in like improv and even sketch.
After Sugar Water Rush, what was your next?
My next thing?
Troupe. What was your next troupe?
Oh, and then I was on Martini Ranch. It was this really great queer sketch comedy group at ColdTown back in the day, pre-pandemic. I think they had done one show before, like a year ago, before they had open auditions, and I auditioned because I was also getting more into like just like tapping in more into like the queer comedy scene, like of improvisers and stand-ups as well. Like just like all at the same time, like I kind of want to be around, people more like me or who are doing these things comedically and also exploring these things. So I would go to a lot of Queer Town shows. That at ColdTown, and was like just like big fans of what they were doing, the Queer Town people, and also through that it was like you familiarize yourself with the people who are doing stuff, and there was I think somehow I learned about Martini Ranch, but it was some like quite a few people from Queer Town who did this like sketch review, and I auditioned as a performer and got on, and then we were in a writer's room every week, and and
that's what you wanted,
and
the training wheels to
and that was really, I think, being on Martini Ranch and seeing how kind of like what I believe, like this is how you like successfully kind of do something like this. Like it is organized, like you do need to show up and have ideas and really put in the work and make it good. And that was it was just awesome to take it all in, see it, even though I felt like I don't know how I got here. And once again, but I'm happy to be here. I'm always just happy to be somewhere. And I think it sounds, I don't know how this might come off weird, but like a lot of my life I've always been around like people who've been older than me. So, and I learn a lot about how to make things happen and like how to be effective at stuff, because just people naturally with some more years on you like have more knowledge and wisdom to share. And so I feel like I've especially with the groups and troops I was on, I was like kind of always like the youngest one generally. It's like less of the case now, which is but in that I was just like, whoa, these people have been doing comedy for a long time, and some people have moved to LA and did it and like came back, just having people, just being around people with more experience, I think was really amazing, and like helped me develop just as a person and a performer, just like knowing kind of the drive and ambition you need to have.
Yeah.
So I did Martini Ranch, and then we did a show after that next year, and we went to San Francisco Sketchfest. We got on there.
Nice.
And that was awesome.
Wow.
I was like, that was a great experience.
But lots of learning from other people.
Yeah.
At that.
It was an amazing time. I was having a great time. I was like, which was another, like, I didn't know the, like, levels of comedy you can do. Like, you can get out of Texas, you know, like, this is, you can really go somewhere. You can literally go other places with it. And it's like, I think that was also a really great experience, just like knowing you can, you know, you can make it somewhere, you can make it anywhere. Really.
Yeah.
You know, just like trying and like getting yourself out of the bubble a bit was awesome. And we had like a really fun show and out there, and I was, yeah.
Have you had other experiences where you've taken your, whether it's sketch or improv troupe to a festival, another festival?
Not quite like that yet. I think, but the thing is, that was in 2019, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
The San Francisco, when we went. Okay. And so we had no idea what was in store for us. And I think, you know, having that momentum, like, oh, yeah, we can totally do this. And then, you know, everything kind of, the big shutdown.
Yeah.
And then I think, you know, mentally, spiritually feeling shut down for a while.
Yeah.
And then I feel like only recently I'm like coming back around to like, oh, there's still so much more to do. You know, and pushing myself. I feel like I'm in a place where I want to push myself and do those things that feel those feelings I had felt before.
Yeah.
And kind of again, but then being more intentional about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we're gonna take a little intermission here and play this card game. I didn't give you the heads up before. It's pretty easy. So, Where Should We Begin is by Esther Perel, and she is this world famous psychologist. I always call her something different. It's either a psychologist, psychiatrist, psychotherapist, whatever she is. So these are prompts.
You ever think about just saying world famous psycho? No, that would probably be bad.
I might now.
No. Scratch.
Psycho something. Yes. So you're going to point to one of these two cards, and I'm going to read that one to you after you read the other one to me to answer.
Okay.
So point to one of these. I'll read that one to you after you read that one to me.
Okay. If you catch me by the fridge at night, I'm probably sneaking.
Oh, this is such an easy one. So, Lindor chocolates, they're the little ball ones.
Oh, yeah?
In the refrigerator. Perfect late night snack.
Yum. I frick with that a lot. Chocolate in the fridge is like a must.
Yes.
Yeah.
I brought, some of the leftover Halloween candy.
Oh, yeah.
And I have so much left. But I took all of the Snickers, threw them in the freezer, because that is also the best.
That's baller. Do you like the Snickers ice cream bar?
I don't think I've ever tried it.
It's pretty yummy. Yeah, I will say it's like, I mean, it's obviously like not going to be the same, but it is that nice in between. You're like, I would kind of want a candy bar, but I do also kind of want it to be like a bit of an ice cream treat at the same time. Because like sometimes the candy bar in the fridge is enough, but then sometimes it's not enough.
Yeah.
Because like I used to do that. I used to do that all the time with Twix. I would put the Twix in the freezer.
Maybe I'll have to take some of that. Yeah. Oh boy. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. Yours, Irielle. If I wrote a book, its title would be...
Oh. Hello. Jeez. This is like ouch. I'm trying to, and this is what I want to do one day is write a book.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm being tested. If I wrote maybe I'd call it Fat, Black, and Angry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to explain?
I mean, that's it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's like,
I
it would
guess,
be,
yeah, that's,
if it was I feel like the book would be about my life in a way, perhaps a memoir, if this were the book title. And that would be it. That would be the memoir title.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start turning this into gushing about Irielle.
Oh.
Because anytime I see you in an improv setting, I've actually never seen you do stand-up.
Okay.
Which is weird to me because if you were doing it a lot in 17 and 18, I was definitely going to a lot of shows. So I don't know how I managed to miss you.
I was probably not on the good ones. You know, I wasn't. I was open micing more.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I was going to some of those at that time too. And yeah, it's every time I've seen you do improv, which is, basically in the last couple of years, you're so fun to watch. And it's interesting getting to know a little bit about your personality and trying to reconcile that with what I see on stage, because you in this conversation, you're so measured.
Oh yeah.
And thoughtful. And when I see you on stage, I'm sure you're thinking about what you're going to do, but I also sense a very, I don't really care what I'm going to say. I'm just going to say something real silly.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you kind of take on a different personality when you perform improv?
I see improv as like really an outlet for like the way I would want to react to things. Like, in my normal civilian life, I'm very, I've pretty mild mannered and like, still kind of, fun loving and for sure, but like not, there's still so much thinking going on about like, what is the right way to talk to people? Or, just like always having that inner monologue of like, just basically having social anxiety. And then in improv where it's like, okay, well, this is a kind of a kayfabe, like I can just be funny by being not thinking about, I don't have to, the socialized rules of the world don't have to exist here. So I feel like I can just kind of express my true thoughts or feelings or reactions to things. So it's mostly like, it's like I'm being funny, but I'm like, oh, this feels true in the way where it's like all the rules don't matter here.
So do you mind being a grounded character? Because grounded seems like, that's who you are as a person, you're having this conversation. Do you try to avoid that because it's just too much of how you are off stage? Or do you really like doing the silly stuff?
I really don't. I guess I haven't even considered the kind of like player I am with improv, like, or as an improviser, because grounded. I'm like, I don't. I feel like sometimes like I've thought I was being grounded and normal, in a scene, but that's just kind of my thinking of like I'm being true to myself. So in my head, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm being normal, or I'm behaving authentically is what it is.
Yeah.
So, and if that is and I guess that does fall more into like not being a grounded person in the scene. then so be it.
Yeah.
I want to say the truth. And I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I feel like thinking about it now. It's
I don't want you to overthink.
No, no, but I it's like, can I play grounded? I don't know. I mean, I think I could, but it'd be really not fun for me. I want to go the other way.
Yeah.
I just truly see improv like is just an amazing outlet for things you feel in life, and the way you kind of have to suppress your emotions or your thoughts on things in a way where it's like, everything's so absurd, but I still need to go to work and pretend like this matters, And it's like, why I don't want to constrain myself to having to play that way if we're in a kind of more of a, we're in a make-believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So which came first, Garage or Big Fart?
Garage.
Okay. And how long have you been part of Garage?
Oh, I think 2 years, 2.5, maybe going on 2.5. It honestly feels like not that long ago, but I'm like, well, I've been doing this. I think they asked me like 2022 or 2023. It was in January, I think, of 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they asked you once again.
I was, well, they would ask me to come guest a few times, like like, hey, can you come guest? I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely. And
okay.
Yeah, okay, I'll do it. And then through that's how they're like, hey, we want to invite you to, and that's I think how Garage operates is like you instead of having formal auditions, like, okay, let's have a list of people we like to ask to play, and like when we feel like we want to add a player or something. I don't know if I'm like, is this confidential information, Garage? If I get like shot tomorrow by
by the very evil Angelina Martin.
Yeah, and she's like, you shouldn't have told them how
to everybody.
You shouldn't have told them how we recruit for Garage now. But yeah, well, like they'll like have meetings about the shows and like how we feel about casts and all that stuff, and that's where they bring in the conversation. Like, do we want to add some cast members? Yeah, and so it's just like goes based off relationships, really. Yeah, like. Yeah.
So I don't know anything about improv. I've been taking the classes. And I decided to come up with a show. So I came up with a show, and we've, lost members, and that's the model that I've actually taken, sort of. Like inviting somebody to our rehearsal and then saying, do you want to play with us? And then we add them. So I feel like that's, I think the relationship thing, because if you're hanging out with each other, in your case, your show's every week. Yeah. And I don't know if you rehearse on top of that, or you're all such brilliant improvisers. Maybe you don't need to rehearse at all.
We rehearse. We'll rehearse. We have kind of like quarterly rehearsals, always good to keep the instrument up to date. And have, coaches or someone come watch and all that. I do. Yeah, I agree. It's like, I think, everything's an audition, really. Yeah. You never know in a way. I think, or just like having the idea, like, yeah, this can be an audition in a way for things. We don't have to it doesn't have to be so formal. And this idea of in high school I was a band kid, and we had a very kind of like Whiplash-esque. We had Whiplash-esque band directors, and it honestly, it was scary, but at the same time, I feel like even though there were times where it's like, oh, this is like not good, but it does kind of, I don't condone it, but like, build up a lot of thick skin. And also fear, which is not good. I think the fear part is really the kicker. Anyway, she would always tell us, she would say, every rehearsal is a performance and every performance is a rehearsal. And she would say that all the time, especially during rehearsals, because she was like, you need to give everything every time, essentially. And I think, in a way that can apply, maybe not as extreme.
Yeah.
But if you just kind of treat things and like honor things, like you never know what could come of it if you just give your best to something in that moment.
Right.
Not treating it like a rehearsal, like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
I can just go through the motions or like not really try or something. So I do know, despite all the scary parts of of what that phrase is attached to, I do feel like I kind of come with that.
There's some truth to it for sure.
Yeah, come with that mentality.
Yeah. So Big Fart then is newer.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I've heard it for a long time, but maybe just because it's just such a fun name.
And like farting.
Yeah.
We all do that. Big Fart came about because it was just like between like garage and like just being women in improv and then kind of orbiting each other, but also being friends. And there's just an opportunity. We just kind of just started hanging out as a group, as friends, which is, I think, how most great things can come to be. We started hanging out and we would hang out like weekly, do fun stuff, just goof and gab. Because we were all like on separate troops, but never like on things together so much, like except maybe, Molly and Maria were on Midnight Society. So there was never a thing where
subsets that work together.
Yeah, it's just like never us together on one thing. And then just kind of through hanging out and recognizing that like, oh, maybe we could do something, and then we kind of as a joke, and I'm doing air quotes, submitted to the Cold Town Throwdown. We were like, oh yeah, we should just like do this and just see how far we go with the throwdown. And then we kept winning and we won. And we're like, well, I guess we're doing this now. and then after the throwdown, Cold Town with was it Austin Sketch Fest, when they did that 48-hour marathon, we were like, oh, LOL, what if we signed up and did this too? Be a sketch group now, just so we did that. And then we ended up winning, and we're like, well, I guess we're a sketch group now, and now we have we have to write a show. We actually have to do that now. And I think that it works for us to like put ourselves up in these things where you have to deliver. Because if not, maybe we just would have just joked around it the whole time. Yeah. And so that's how Big Fart came to be.
Okay. And you won a ColdTony this cycle, right?
We did for best sketch
of
Boy Moms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to tease us, or do you want to tell us where we can see?
We don't have it. It's a live sketch.
Okay.
The premise of Boy Moms, it came about where we're like making fun of boy moms, and basically we're all moms, and we're like, oh, I love my son, and like we say increasingly inappropriate things about.
I think I may have seen this at Sketchfest this past. Am I misremembering? A version of it?
We did a version of it this past Sketchfest.
Okay.
Where we had all of our sons on stage.
Yeah.
The original version, we increasingly talk about our sons in our inappropriate relationships, and then someone's son breaks in and you think it's a cop, but the son's playing like a stripper cop, and we decide as moms right before he comes in to like take cyanide capsules, you know, a la kind of, you know, just bad behavior, and then it turns into like a Romeo Juliet thing where the mom's poisoned, and then the son thinks she's dead and then drinks the poison, but then the mom comes back to life and is like, oh my God.
So many layers.
Yeah, it just turned into, it got to there from there, and it's a fun sketch. Really, I think it's just really funny how it can go from that to that.
Yeah.
And it was, and I think the great thing about sketch and like us writing together is like you don't really know how people are going to react because you're just laughing about it with your friends, and then to see people think it's really funny and like embrace it, something you just thought was funny amongst you and your friends.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that feels really good. Even though it's like, we're talking about a boy mom sketch. Where, with some incestual vibes, or I guess more Oedipal.
Yeah.
Vibes.
And I think that could be a whole tangential conversation because since you do stand up and you are no doubt aware of the very bro-y scene that Austin has a reputation for being now.
Yeah.
Where saying inappropriate things and going too far with something in some spaces is acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
But then knowing, especially since you have like this very strong foundation of a friendship with your group, and finding how far you can take the concept without being just really gross and inappropriate about it.
Yeah.
That's probably what the audience has picked up on, is that, yeah, you took a concept that shouldn't like, work, but you figured out the right balancing act. And probably the biggest thing is people were keying off of how much fun you all were having together.
And it's just like I think comedy is great when it's like we're pointing out something that is really strange about accepted normal behavior. Mm-hmm. Like we were making fun of boy moms and how weird they are about their sons, where you're like, this is gross. Well, okay, not like,
right,
but like, no. You know, the stuff like on TikTok or like the internet where it's like, I would never let my son have a girlfriend, you know, I'm the love of his life, you know, stuff that, like toxic behaviors where people are like somehow accepting of that, of like, oh, this is normal, or this kind of thinking is okay because I guess other people are saying it's okay, but it's really just like, that's so strange in that there's a population, you know, a sizable population of people who are like, no, I think that's normal. Mm-hmm. And so that's where the joke of doing a sketch where it's like, yeah, what if the boy moms were like really weird? Because that's kind of like what it is, you know? Yeah. Like these just like weird kind of things that are accepted by society at large. Mm-hmm. It's like, I think when you can find something like that to say something about, and also, you know, toe that line, because it's like, we didn't come up with that ourselves. We just saw something that was like, that's so weird that people are like cool with that. And then make fun of it and take it somewhere.
Yeah, you did if this is true, then what else is true, to, you know, serve the idea
of like, this is what is out, this is what we've or people accept, like just kind of just finding absurd, toxic even, or just like, why do we think this is normal? that's supposed to be normalized.
Yeah.
You know, finding something like that. When you find something like that and you're like, okay, we can write something about this, it usually feels pretty good, because you're like, I think we have a pretty clear statement on what we think about it and how strange it is. Like, this is strange, and yet it's being presented like as if it's okay, which is kind of a mirror for the world.
Yes,
where it's like, this doesn't feel right. This feels wrong. Yet it's being the presentation is like, this is okay. This is accepted.
Yeah. So it sounds like a lot of times the sketch is just an organic outgrowth of your friendships. So do you have any active projects going right now, or are you just, this is our friendship and something will come out of it at some point? That is a sketch. Obviously, you're getting, the friendship out of it. But.
Oh yeah, we're getting friendship. I would say right now so far we're like kind of on this cycle where we'll like submit. We'll like be like, okay, I think we want to submit to Sketchfest, or we want to submit for some open slots for shows in like the springtime, and then we just have a cadence of like maybe once a year we'll like in a concentrated way pump out some work and then get a show up. That's so right now we're like not actively working on stuff. I think it's like a kind of a cadence that works for us, where it's like, we don't need to be
on all the time.
Yeah, and just like we need to live our lives, but whenever we really are effective when we concentrate and like can get some work out like in 48 hours, if we really just push ourselves to a deadline, we find ways. And so hopefully next year we probably could have something, but right now we're just like, we're chilling. Yeah.
Cool. Are there other projects that you're involved with that we haven't talked about?
I'm not in any active projects. I am doing stand-up on November 6th for Brandy Davis at Cap City.
Aww.
So I don't know when this is going to come out.
It's going to come out after.
Okay, so I hope y'all were there and are listening to the episode, because I just got a bunch of fans and think, like, well, I got to listen to this episode with Irielle.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Yeah.
And we can talk about it in the past.
Yeah. It was a fabulous show.
And it was amazing.
I'm so sad that Brandy's leaving us.
Me too. And I feel like that's a whole nother conversation. Just like whenever the people who make the scene great, and you're in at some point you're like, what are the next steps?
Yeah. Yeah.
For because I think it's silly to think that we all don't want to be successful in some way. It's like Austin's scene is growing a lot in comedy, but they're still like, you gotta maybe hit up one of the trifectas of Chicago or LA or New York.
Yeah.
And it's always great to see your friends like do it, but then you're like, oh man, Austin's gonna be hurting so much with that. So it's and I think we all, at least I would say most of us probably think about it at some point. We're like, do I want to stay here and make more here, or do I want to really try to do something else somewhere and see the potential of that?
Yeah, I think post-pandemic that decision is more complicated, because there is a lot of opportunity for stage time and performance, but the big missing component is industry. And that's why LA and New York will continue to dominate.
Yeah.
So until those alleged film studios start showing up here and making it possible for people to make, a living from writing for shows or acting in shows, directing, producing, then those two cities are still going to
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in an ideal world, like, miracle wand question, kind of thing, it's like you would hope any place can allow you to do that.
Yeah.
Like anywhere that you are. And I mean, I wish it were that way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the reality is like at some point you're like, do I want to try to take this further? Maybe just the framework isn't quite there here in Austin yet of having that industry, like you said. Yeah. So, but I'm curious. I mean, what if it ends up or in a way, like 5 years from now or something? I don't know what's going to happen in a year. You know,
right?
Yeah, just be kind of cool to see other. Yeah, it's like I mean, obviously these places are institutions for a reason, but it's like where's the space for making something of your own and having it recognized and valued on the same way, because it's not like a lack of talent,
right?
It's more of like lack of resources or lack of like being seen or or visibility.
Yep, all complex issues. And we don't have to solve them today.
So. Not today.
All right. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you want people to know about you?
No. What do I want people to know about me?
She wants to be invited.
I love to be invited. Yeah.
And I just realized I said she, and I should have done the check before.
She's cool. She's right. She's right.
Thank you. I should have checked. Okay.
Yeah, I will say every time I do listen to the Morning Grind every Thursday, and I would love to be on that. So if Rochelle, get me on the radio.
Okay.
I love the radio. Just like
how funny.
I think one of my dream jobs is just like being a radio host.
Oh wow. Well, my best friend since childhood is a radio host, and it does not sound all that glorious.
Oh, see, I'm choosing
brutal.
The wrong stuff. I should be like, my dream job's to be in private equity.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Like, oh, that seems like a cushy lifestyle. I want the.
I guess. You can love what you do, past the inconveniences and annoyances of it, I guess. Or you can be rich.
I guess.
And not love what you do.
Well, that's a bummer. Yeah. That those are our two options.
Every once in a while, you get the rare. You can love what you do and be rich.
Yeah, that would be.
That would be the coolest.
Yeah, or rich, or just like have a sustainable income. I don't even. Yeah. If I could just be like a radio host and make enough money to live a normal life, like I think I'd be pretty happy.
Okay.
But I guess that's not real.
All right. Well, I'll put in a good word with Rochelle.
Thank you.
Look, this needs to happen.
Yeah, get me on the radio.
How fun. Okay. Well, let me wrap up with my closing question.
Mm-hmm.
One word to describe your future.
Amazing.
Aw.
Yeah.
I think it will be.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that is a wrap on Comedy Wham Presents Irielle Wesley. Tell us where we can find you on social media and promote your shows, projects.
Yes. You can find me on Instagram at Irielle_is_dumb. That's my Instagram. And I don't really post a lot, but I will post when I'm doing a show or something. And I like to respond to reels people send me on there. And I used to have a Twitter, but ever since it turned into X, I don't have that anymore, unfortunately. So I'm still searching for the right platform to basically tweet. So if anyone's got...
Blue Sky's not terrible. It's hard to be active on it, but it's not, it's the Twitter of yesteryear.
Okay, I might get into Blue Sky.
Yeah.
So if that happens, just I'll let y'all know. And that's it on social media.
Okay.
But come to Garage on Thursdays at 8:30.
It's a ton of fun.
Yes, it's a lot of fun, and it's at Fallout, and you should bring your friends, and you should tell everyone that you know that you love this troupe and you think they're amazing, and that you want to give us a bunch of money, because we deserve it.
And keep an eye out for Big Fart new projects.
Yeah.
Whenever they feel like it.
Whenever we feel like it. Once again, just, give us a bunch of money, and we could make something happen.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, we hope you've enjoyed learning about how Irielle got to be the comedic genius that you heard today, just as much as I have. This has been Comedy Wham presents Irielle Wesley. I'm Valerie, and that's been funny. Thank you, Irielle.
Thank you, Valerie.